And we'll take a look at the papers today on Christmas Eve, and we're joined by the Plain English editor, Andrew Pegler. Andrew, good morning.
Good morning, and happy for the season to both of you.
Yes, happy Christmas to you too. What's caught your eye this morning?
Well, it's difficult to go past the ATSIC developments, as you guys have been covering. They've suffered their third humiliating defeat after the case against Andrew Twiggy. Why do they call him Twiggy? What is that? Forrest, anyway, was thrown out the door. The judge said that they simply did not have the proof to back up their serious allegations that he was deliberately dishonest, or the company was deliberately dishonest, and misled the market in relation to a 2004 release. Now, interestingly, this follows, of course, the defeat of the One-Tel case, which was a $92 million case, quite a chunk of change, and it seems to be something that, although something like ATSIC, of course, is a very important part of the firmament of the rule of law and industrialised society we live in, these sorts of mistakes do need to probably be looked at a little further, and maybe they need to get a bit more serious with their evidence. And yeah. Well,
what's the commentary this morning then? What does it mean for ASIC as we look at a cartoon here?
Yeah, no, there's a great piece there actually. One guy sitting at the desk, how did the Forrest case go? And the Robin Hood figure says, we failed to rob the rich and the taxpayers are slightly poorer.
Yes, because as you mentioned, they've been ordered to pay all costs in relation to that very expensive court case. This reminds me, Andrew, of what went on a little bit in the late 80s and early 90s, where a relatively new ASIC attempted to take on some corporate fat cats in the courts, and they simply were not funded to be able to do it. You had on the other side, in those legal matters, some incredibly expensive and talented and well-remunerated counsel coming up against ASIC. ASIC didn't. ASIC had sort of junior burger lawyers and didn't have the money to brief very experienced counsel, and they were hit all over the ballpark. I don't know if we have a similar situation now. I think ASIC is much more credentialed and has some really good staff, but clearly, as you've pointed out, the evidence gathering is not rock solid. I
think they've outsourced this one to Mallisons, from what I can remember. So look, they've got the people on board, but I guess if you don't start off with evidence that's watertight, then they'll find a hole in it, and that's what seems to have happened.
Is there likely to be an appeal on this one?
Look, you'd imagine there would be.
Yeah, they've already said that they will appeal, but then when that might take place is some time off.
The interesting thing was the QC for Fortescue, Alan Myers, described the case like a big souffle. He said, "There's a little bit of egg white, a little bit of batter, and a whole lot of hot air to make it bigger than it is."
Alan Myers, of course, one of the best QCs in the country, and has fronted up for some extremely important and high-profile corporate cases. I would never, ever want to have to go up against him in any matter.
What about the next story? It's not hot air, but at Helium.
Well done, Paul.
And the young fellow called Falcon. His parents are in trouble.
You like that connection, don't you?
I do like
you like the fact that the boy in the balloon was called Falcon.
Because he's flying bird. Sorry, I'm a bit slow. It's early in the morning.
I guess.
Nice touch.
I just think his parents are innovators, but
they
landed them in trouble anyway.
They're in trouble. So overnight, they were finally sentenced to jail with strict probation conditions that forbid them from earning any money from the spectacle that they created for the next 4 years. The dad got 90 days, the mum got 20 days, and they pleaded guilty to the charges. And the district attorney is now seeking costs for $50,000. And there's some interesting other developments. What I didn't know was they basically were portrayed as growing increasingly desperate as their pitches for a reality television program wasn't going ahead, and they were getting more and more into a financial black hole. So they thought that this was a great idea to set in motion the possibility that they'd get a reality TV program. Now, what the hell's that going to be about? A family with a couple of kids in America? I mean, I can't imagine that's too unique.
Hang on, I mean, I can name you 5 reality TV shows that are exactly about that. So why can't they get one if the Kardashians can get one?
Well, that's a very good point.
They were on other TV shows, I think maybe Wife Swap or something as well.
Yes, but they had experience with it, didn't they? And they'd taken the drug and they wanted some more.
But the judges said that they're not allowed to make money out of this?
Yeah, for 4 years. It's basically...
Well, they can make money out of it after 4 years?
Yeah, after 4 years.
If anyone's interested.
Well, yeah, it's obviously with the attention span of the American public, people will be still whipped by that story.
Don't insult the American public. We have many people watching this program.
No.
Many of whom might even be Americans. Now, what bothers me, though, is that if the father's being jailed for 90 days, the mother for 20, who looks after the kids?
Well, it's been worked out such that the mother will be there while the dad's doing his time and so on and so forth. So the kids are being looked after. Falcon is going to be cared for, Paul. So we can.
Thank goodness for that.
Yes.
He's learnt a lesson as
Otherwise,
well.
Otherwise, some negligent parent could, I don't know, send him up in a balloon or something.
Well, they could do a reality television program.
Bad might happen. And also, you're turning your attention to the cartoons today.
Yes, we are. Well, how can you go past a Simpsons story? One of the great programs of the last 25 odd or 20 years. And that has been recognised by the Vatican. About time, of course.
What has been recognised?
The Vatican's newspaper thinks the Simpsons, to quote Ned Flanders, are an oakley-dokley bunch. Now, they have congratulated the show on their 20th anniversary, praising its philosophical leanings as well as its stinging and often irreverent take on religion. So you've got those snore-evoking sermons from Reverend Lovejoy and Homer's kind of bizarre conversations with God. Yes. And I think all of this sort of stuff is finally, added up into some sort of Simpsons theology. I'm always reminded of that conversation or that time when Homer said something to the effect of, "I'm not normally a religious man, but if you're up there, save me, Superman."
Which is pretty much what all prayer boils down to, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah,
well, it doesn't matter.
It just depends on who you believe in.
It does. And if he wears a cape, fine.
Is Ned Flanders Catholic? Is he ever...
I don't know if that's been established.
Ned Flanders would have to have some religious dimension to his life. He just strikes me as that kind of man.
He is God-fearing, but I'm not sure that he's ever
we have a denomination.
Yeah, which denomination?
No, I don't think we have a denomination there. But look, I don't know, Ned Flanders to be canonised next, I say. Why not?
Yeah, or Homer.
Or even Homer.
Yeah, well, as you said. Yes.
He's not the Messiah, he's
Saint
just a
Mary
very naughty boy.
Homer Simpson. It's all up there, I can imagine it working.
Andrew Pegler, have a great Christmas. See you in the new year.
Same with you guys.
Thank you.
See you later.
Merry Christmas.